Welcome back to another episode of 5 Minutes with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to teach on the topic of finding joy in your nothingness. And I want to start off by reading you a scripture found in 2 Kings 4, verses 1 to 7. And it reads, "A certain woman of the wives of the son of the prophets cried out to Elisha, saying, 'Your servant, my husband, is dead. And you know that your servant feared the Lord, and the creditor is coming to take my 2 sons to be his slaves.' So Elisha said to her, 'What shall I do for you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?' And she said, 'Your maidservant has nothing in the house but a jar of oil.' Then he said, 'Go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. And when you have come in, you shall shut the door behind you and your sons. Then pour it in all those vessels and set aside the full ones.' So she went from him, shut the door behind her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured it out. Now it came to pass, when the vessels were full, and she had said to her son, 'Bring me another vessel.' And he said to her, 'There's not another vessel.' So the oil ceased. Then she came and told the man of God, and he said, 'Go, sell the oil and pay your debt, and you and your sons live on the rest.'" The widow in this story represents the barren state, which is nothingness. You are in a barren state if your marriage is unhealthy and you can't stand to go home. You're in a barren state if you hate your job and can't stand to go to work. You're in a barren state if, like the widow, you have no money to pay your bills and the bank is coming to take your home. What the Bible is teaching us is that even in your nothingness, you have something. The widow had 3 drops of oil, and oil represents joy. The prophet commanded her, "Go within and shut the door." That meant shut the door on your senses that tell you that your marriage is dead. Shut the door on your senses that tell you that you hate your job. Shut the door on the fear that your creditors will come and take your home. Go within and find joy. Find your 3 drops of oil. What is the oil in your marriage? Is your husband a good father? Is he a good provider? Why do you stay? You stay because of the 3 drops of oil that you have, even though you're not aware of it, even though you're not conscious of it. Because if you're thinking that your marriage is dead, you're not seeing the joy. You're not seeing the oil. You're just seeing what you don't have, right? So that's another lesson on consciousness. What is your 3 drops of oil about your job? Do you like helping people and providing good customer service? Is the pay helping you feed your family, right? A lot of times we love what we do, we just don't like the people that we work with, or sometimes we like what we do, we don't like the people that we work with, and we don't like the pay that we're getting. But there's always something if you look for it. Okay. What is your 3 drops of oil? I know this is a hard one. What is your 3 drops of oil, but not having enough money to pay your bills? Your 3 drops of oil could be the children that you have and the joy that they bring you. The Bible says that weeping lasts only for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Even if you lose your home, God will get you another one. Find the joy in your nothingness. It could even be as simple as you have life, you have health. If you look for your joy, you will find it, right? The prophet also commanded the widow, or the woman in the barren state, which is what the widow represents, to find vessels and pour the 3 drops of oil that she had in all the vessels until they're full. When you have taken your attention away from the problems of life and begin to feel the joy of having received the things you desire, you will have abundance running over. In this story, the widow woman's desire was to have enough money to pay her debt so that the creditors wouldn't take her son as slaves. And she received enough money to pay her debts and had money left over from just pouring what she already had into the jars until they were full. It's an amazing, amazing story. You know, you can't take it literally. You have to go behind and find the meaning. When you feel the joy in your marriage for whatever oil you have, you will be generously rewarded. For the world is like a magnifying glass, magnifying whatever you hold in your heart and whatever you pay attention to, which is why the prophet told you to shut the door, shut the senses, shut all of the inner voice that's telling you all the things you don't have. Shut your senses and find inside the joy, right? I'm praying for everyone within the sound of my voice that you will find your 3 drops of oil and your joy, and you would have your cup running over. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5 Minutes with Coach Myrna. I hope that you all find your joy, find the small amount of oil that you have in whatever barren situation you're experiencing. Until next time, namaste.